Here's a question that might challenge everything you think you know about human evolution. What if some of the most important innovations in human history came from minds that work differently? What if the people we call autistic today were actually the secret weapons of Stone Age survival? Recent research suggests that autistic traits didn't just exist in ancient times. They may have been crucial to human development and survival for over 100,000 years. This isn't just speculation. York University archaeologist Penny Spickens posits that sustainable autistic traits made their appearance in the human genome some 100,000 years ago. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's hard to find any verifiable proof of autism in archaeological records. There is no skeletal record of the condition, so how do we know autistic people existed in the Stone Age? And more importantly, how do we know they were vital to human survival? The answer lies not in bones, but in the incredible artifacts and innovations our ancestors left behind. If we are to look for the influence of autism on distant societies, we must therefore turn our gaze to the material culture of such societies. And when we do, we find something remarkable: evidence of minds that could focus intensely on details, remember vast amounts of information, and create innovations that change the course of human history. Let's start with one of the most stunning pieces of evidence: the cave paintings. Around 30,000 years ago, realistic art suddenly flourished in Europe. Extremely accurate depictions of bears, bison, horses, and lions decorate the walls of Ice Age archaeological sites such as Chauvet Cave in southern France. But here's what makes this extraordinary: traits in Upper Paleolithic art, which are also seen in the work of talented artists with autism, including most obviously an exceptional realism, remain to be explained. Think about this for a moment. These ancient artists didn't just draw animals, they captured them with photographic accuracy. They showed muscle definition, correct proportions, and behaviors that could only come from incredibly detailed observation. The ability to focus on detail, a common trait among people with autism, allowed realism to flourish in Ice Age art. This level of detail-focused art appears suddenly in the archaeological record, suggesting that minds with autistic traits were creating masterpieces that we still admire today. But the contributions of autistic minds in the Stone Age went far beyond art. These individuals likely served as the living libraries of their communities. In a world without writing, someone had to remember everything: which plants were safe to eat, when animals migrated, how to make complex tools, and where to find the best materials. People with exceptional memory abilities and intense focus on specific subjects would have been invaluable. Consider the complexity of Stone Age tool making. Creating a properly balanced spear or a sharp stone blade required not just skill, but the ability to hold incredibly detailed mental maps of how different materials behaved. Archaeological evidence shows that Stone Age people traveled hundreds of miles to obtain specific types of stone for their tools. Someone had to remember exactly where the best flint could be found, how to recognize high-quality materials, and the precise techniques needed to work with them. The evidence suggests that autistic individuals may have been the master craftspeople of their time. Many people with autism today show exceptional abilities in pattern recognition, attention to detail, and the ability to repeat complex processes with incredible precision. These same traits would have made them perfect for tasks like knapping stone tools, creating intricate bone needles, or developing the complex techniques needed to make fire reliably. Research has shown that some key autism genes are part of a shared ape heritage, which predates the split that led us along a human path. This means that the genetic foundations for autism have been with us for millions of years, long before we became modern humans. But why would these traits persist through natural selection if they weren't providing some survival advantage? The answer becomes clear when we consider the challenges our Stone Age ancestors faced. Survival required not just physical strength or hunting ability, but also the capacity to innovate, remember crucial information, and solve complex problems. People with autistic traits would have excelled at these tasks. They might have been the ones who figured out how to track seasonal changes, remember the locations of essential resources, or develop new techniques for food processing. Think about the development of early calendars and astronomical observation. Someone had to notice that certain stars appeared at specific times of year, that the moon followed predictable cycles, and that these patterns could be used to predict seasonal changes. This type of systematic observation and pattern recognition is exactly the kind of thinking that many autistic individuals excel at today. Archaeological evidence supports this idea. Ancient sites around the world show evidence of sophisticated understanding of astronomy and seasonal cycles. Stone circles, cave markings, and other artifacts suggest that Stone Age people were tracking celestial events with remarkable precision. This kind of detailed, systematic observation would have been natural for individuals with autistic traits. The social structure of Stone Age communities would have supported and valued these different types of minds. Unlike modern society, which often struggles to accommodate neurodiversity, Stone Age communities were small, close-knit groups where everyone's unique abilities were essential for survival. Someone who could remember the exact location of a water source during drought, or who could create tools with exceptional precision, would have been highly valued regardless of their social communication style. Evidence from modern hunter-gatherer societies supports this idea. Anthropologists have documented how these communities often have individuals who serve as specialists in specific areas of knowledge. Some people become expert trackers, others master plant identification, and still others excel at tool making or storytelling. This specialization suggests that Stone Age societies were structured to take advantage of different types of minds and abilities. The genetic evidence is particularly compelling. A genetic study hints strongly that the Denisovans, who roamed the Earth down to the end of the last ice age, possessed autistic skills, which were then passed on to their modern human descendants. The Denisovans were an ancient human population that lived in Asia and interbred with both Neanderthals and modern humans. If they carried genes associated with autism, and if these genes were passed down to us, it suggests that autistic traits were not just tolerated, but actively selected for during human evolution. This makes sense when we consider the challenges of Ice Age survival. The period between 100,000 and 10,000 years ago was marked by dramatic climate changes, ice ages, and the need to adapt to rapidly changing environments. Communities that could innovate, remember crucial information, and solve complex problems would have had significant survival advantages. Autistic individuals, with their ability to focus intensely on specific subjects and their exceptional memory for details, would have been crucial to these survival strategies. The archaeological record also shows evidence of increasing technological complexity during this period. Stone tools became more sophisticated, art became more realistic and complex, and evidence of symbolic behavior, like jewelry and burial practices, becomes more common. This progression suggests that human societies were becoming more capable of supporting and benefiting from diverse types of minds. Consider the development of complex hunting strategies. Archaeological sites show evidence of coordinated hunts involving multiple people, sophisticated traps, and detailed knowledge of animal behavior. Planning and executing these hunts would have required individuals who could remember animal migration patterns, predict behavior, and coordinate complex group activities. People with autistic traits, particularly those with exceptional memory and attention to detail, would have been essential for these activities. The evidence also suggests that autistic individuals may have been involved in early forms of record keeping and communication. Some of the abstract symbols found in Stone Age cave art and on portable objects may represent early attempts to record information. If so, the individuals creating these symbols would have needed exceptional ability to recognize and remember patterns, abilities that are common among people with autism today. What's particularly fascinating is that these contributions may have been recognized and valued by Stone Age communities. Unlike modern societies that often marginalize people who are different, Stone Age communities were small enough that everyone's unique abilities were apparent and necessary. Someone who could remember the exact details of a successful hunt, or who could create tools with exceptional precision, would have been seen as valuable regardless of their social communication style. This perspective challenges our modern understanding of autism as a disorder. Instead of seeing autistic traits as problems to be fixed, we might understand them as natural variations in human thinking that have contributed to our species' success. The intense focus, exceptional memory, and detail-oriented thinking that characterize autism may have been exactly what our ancestors needed to survive and thrive in challenging environments. The implications of this research extend far beyond archaeology. If autistic minds were crucial to human survival and development, it suggests that neurodiversity isn't just something we should tolerate in modern society. It's something we should actively value and support. The same traits that helped our ancestors survive ice ages and develop complex technologies might be exactly what we need to solve the complex challenges we face today. The story of autism in the Stone Age is ultimately a story about the power of different types of minds working together. It suggests that human success has always depended not on everyone thinking the same way, but on communities that could harness the unique abilities of all their members. The memory keepers, the detail-focused craftspeople, and the pattern-recognizing innovators weren't just part of Stone Age society. They were essential to its survival and success. As we continue to study the archaeological record and learn more about human evolution, we're discovering that the story of our species is far more complex and inclusive than we once thought. The autistic minds that may have helped our ancestors survive the Stone Age are still with us today, still contributing their unique perspectives and abilities to human society. Understanding and valuing this contribution isn't just about being inclusive. It's about recognizing a fundamental truth about what makes us human. If you found this exploration of ancient minds fascinating, subscribe to Stone Age for more surprising stories from our human past. What other hidden contributors to human evolution should we explore next? Let me know in the comments below.
Want to discover more about Stone Age life? From hunting techniques to ancient tools, there's so much more to explore about how our ancestors survived and thrived. Subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from the Stone Age.